Yes, I can.
Fabulous. Before we call to order, I'm just going to point out some agenda changes. We are not going to discuss citizens questionnaire, which is actually, I think, the questions that are asked of the citizens by the selection committees for the renewal of committee members and the appointment of new committee members, which isn't until next year. So there's no hurry. So we are not going to discuss that tonight. Following appointment of new officers, we are going to have appoint new Town Center Advisory Board representative. All right, and that will be the extent of the changes. All right. Chris Ann, you want to call?
Sure.
Call roll.
Committee member Will Knight.
Present.
Committee Adrian Caster.
Here.
Committee member Kevin Minkoff.
Here.
Committee member Twyla Harrington.
Here.
Committee member Shelley Reynolds, or chair, I'm not sure what.
Here.
Okay. Committee member Jenny Ebeling. Okay. Committee member Chris Barney, or chair, vice chair.
Present.
Committee member Woodrow Terrell.
He's here.
Okay, yeah.
That's right.
Committee member Diane Castillo.
Here.
And committee member Victoria Rizzo.
Present.
And the committee member Shelby Stephenson.
Here.
Wow. That's quite the roll call. Yoo-hoo. All right. With the changes in the agenda, do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Paul, I think you're our only public here tonight. All right. Paul, if you decide you need to chime in, please don't hesitate to do so. So tonight we have a lot of new faces with us. So what I'd like to do is just go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves. And we'll just start with Jenny.
My name is Jenny Aisling. I live in Troutdale. Is there something specific you want
Nope.
to say? Yeah.
Whatever you want.
I'm excited to be here and participate on this committee. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Will.
Oh, hey, Will Knight, yeah, Troutdale resident since 2001, been involved off and on with the committees since probably 2004 or 5, somewhere in there. Yeah, really excited to see some new faces and to see so many people in the same room at the same time. It's been a long time since that's happened.
Kevin.
My name is Kevin Minkoff. I am a CPA, not your ordinary bean counter is my slogan. I have been in the Troutdale community for almost 12 years and very happy to be selected to this committee.
Chris.
I'm Chris Barney, and I'm originally from exciting Boring, Oregon, and I also serve on the budget committee.
Thank you. I'm Shelley Reynolds. I've been on this committee for 3 or 4 years now. I've been in Troutdale for 4.5. Love it. I love this committee. The members that we've worked together with over the last few years have just been wonderful. So welcome to new people. Victoria?
Hi, I'm Victoria Rizzo. I've lived here 43 years. I've been on this committee more than I can count, over 13. And here I'm going to give a plug for myself. I'm not town center. After I went to all the meetings, and I just want to follow up and see what's happening. That's my cheer for myself.
Adrian?
My name is Adrian Kester. Troutdale resident for almost 5 years now. And I've just have wanted to get more involved. It's easy to do because I'm easily within walking distance of the building. I live right over there. And yeah, I've just been anxious to do more volunteering, both with the city and other organizations that I work with, and this is going to be interesting.
I'm Shelby Stephenson, and this is my second year in Citizen Advisory, and I've really enjoyed it.
Diane Castillo, also known as Diane Castillo White, lived in Troutdale 31 years. I'm on a few committees and on the Historical Society Board. And I'm right now I'm doing the Vineyard concerts for them, so do a little plug. So this Friday, Mike and me, top band of Portland, kids band, they'll tell history in between the songs, 6 to 8. And at 6 o'clock, we always get a cool breeze. The sun does go down and everybody will be in the shade in lawn with popcorn, lemonade, and cookies, and with a shuttle that will keep taking us to downtown. So we're in cooperation with First Friday. So it's going to be a great fun concert. I'm sure they'll bring their bubble machine back. So they're plug for the Historic Society. Yeah.
My name is Twyla Harrington. This is my second or third year on this committee, and I'm also on the Public Safety Equity.
Woodrow.
Hi, I'm Woodrow, and I've been looks like I'm the newbie. I got here about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Came up from Gilbert, Arizona, where I was active in a community action network where we would request and distribute community development grants. Also went through the Gilbert Leadership Program, which, we basically, for a 12-month period, we went through every department in the town, learned everything that we could about it and how to apply that for citizen government. And I would be dressed a little bit nicer, but I also am an auditor or an assessor for National Boy Scouts. And so I go to about a dozen Boy Scout camps every summer and do a risk management assessment of the entire camp. And I just finished Fire Mountain. So I'm on my way back down from, where is this place? Cedro Willowy. So.
Well, we're glad you could join us tonight.
Yeah.
Again, welcome everyone. It's so nice to have you new members here. All right, next order of business is appointment of new officers. I think we handle this just a little bit differently every single year. What I'd like to do this year is we can open nominations without a motion. So we'll open nominations. If you're nominated for chair, please acknowledge the nomination and accept or decline the nomination. Once all nominations are in, we will vote. All right. And so with that, I'm going to open nominations for the chair position.
I nominate Shelley.
And I second.
Thank you. I accept the nomination and thank you very much for your faith in me. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? All right. I need a motion to close nominations for chair position.
I motion to close nominations for the chair.
And I'll second Victoria.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
This is for closing the nominations, by the way, folks. Opposed? All right, so only Shelley has been nominated as chair. Shelley has accepted the nomination for just the formality of it. We can do a voice vote if we would please. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. All right. Can I have nominations? I'm opening nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Will Knight.
I appreciate that, Diane. Thank you. I think I'm going to respectfully decline. Thank you.
All right. Any other nominations for vice chair?
Nominate Twyla.
I second.
Second it.
I will accept.
Okay. Any other nominations for vice chair? Can I have a motion to close nominations?
Move to close nominations for vice chair.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Nominations closed. Twyla Harrington is the only nomination for vice chair. Twyla Harrington has accepted the nomination for form. Can we please have a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Wonderful. Welcome aboard, Twyla. Welcome to what is now known as the madhouse. All right, and last order of business at this time is the appointment of a new Town Center Advisory Board representative. If you are currently a member, not an appointed from another committee, but a member of the Town Center Advisory Board, you are not eligible for this appointment. If you are not currently a member of the Town Center Advisory Board, you are eligible for this nomination. With that said, Victoria Rizzo has expressed her interest in remaining our representative just for consistency purposes, not because she just thoroughly enjoys the committee. She totally does.
Point of clarification. You said if you're a member of the Town Center Advisory Committee, you cannot be the representative.
So the Town Center Advisory Board is made up of a core of members that are selected during the committee selection process, just like you were for Citizens Advisory. Each committee also has an appointed representative to that committee. The committee meets inconsistently at best, yes?
Oh, right now, yeah.
Yeah. So the committee is meeting inconsistently, irregularly, so just so you know, it's not a monthly obligation. It's just an obligation to be there when they do call a meeting.
And Victoria you're a member of the.
No,
No,
she is
I'm appointed.
she is the current appointed person, yeah,
Thank you.
whose position is expiring, right? So we're either reappointing her or appointing a new nomination, or a new representative. Any further? Yep.
Does Victoria need to be second? I know she is willing to stay. How's that process work?
It will be a motion. So mostly at this point right now, I want to see, is there anybody else interested in filling that role, or is Victoria the only one?
I'm interested. She's been on it for a long time, so.
Not that one, on that one.
I'm sort of interested too, but then again, I'm also on Historical Landmarks Committee and I could make my pitch there too.
I can't tell the difference between the voices. Can we, who was the first and who was the second?
So the first was Kevin.
Okay.
And Adrian was the second.
Got
And so we have 3 people interested.
But for this purpose, you can limit it to 2.
Kevin and
Victoria.
Victoria, okay.
And Kevin's the CPA.
Yes.
Okay.
Shelley?
Yes.
Hi, Paul Wilcox. I
Hi,
think
Paul.
when you were describing who's eligible and who's not, there's the 5 at large, and then there's 5 from 5 different committees. I think Will is an at large, so he wouldn't be eligible to be, CAC's representative, which I think you probably already knew.
I'm sorry, say that again.
There are 5 at large chosen by the council, and then there are 5 representatives from 5 different committees. And Will is an at-large member, so he's not eligible as a CAC representative.
Right, we got that. Thank you. All right. So.
Does Kevin need a second, or where were we at with that?
I think what we'll do, so Victoria raised her hand first, so what we're gonna do is if I can have a motion to nominate Victoria as the representative, and we'll vote, and if that doesn't carry, then we'll do the nomination for Kevin.
I'll move to nominate Victoria Rizzo as our CAC representative for TCAB.
Great. A second?
Second.
All right. Do we need to roll call this so we can count majority, or could we?
Absolutely. Committee member Will Knight,
Aye, yes.
committee member Adrian Custer,
Yes.
committee member Twyla Harrington,
Yes.
committee member Kevin Minkoff,
Abstain.
committee member Shelley Reynolds,
Yes.
committee member Jay Abling.
Yeah.
Committee member Woodrow Terrell,
No.
committee member Chris Barney,
Yes.
committee member Diana Castillo-White,
Yes.
and committee member Shelby Stephenson.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I think we have a majority yes vote for Victoria
No need to go
Rizzo.
further.
Wonderful. Thank you. Victoria will remain the CAC committee representative for the Town Center Advisory Board. And please, y'all, forgive me if that was handled wrong. I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, I think that was right. I think that was perfect.
Thank you. Okay, yes, Diane.
This is Diane. I'd like to make a comment. My vote for Victoria was, I've been on the committee since its inception, and we've had about 6 meetings-ish. Is that about right so far? And it's kind of complicated, like how we've got to where we are right now. And so I just appreciate that Victoria understands where we're at as we're going forward to making some important, hopefully some important input to a process that's in its next phase. Just want to make that statement. Thank you.
And I'm going to take this opportunity to remind everyone that all of these meetings are open to the public always. And you should by all means attend if you're interested.
And in addition to that, I believe it's possible there still is a vacant spot as an alternate. And although it may be closed for this year, by attending and participating, you might have a pretty good opportunity to be called into that role for the next time that they renew.
Yeah, the next time.
Right.
Because I applied for it this time and
Gotcha.
was declined.
And frankly, I think that's because I want to join this committee. I'm just saying.
Someone a what?
I think it was because I wanted you on this committee.
Oh.
Sorry.
And
So,
I think there was only one spot open.
Yeah, I think there was only one at large
Yeah.
open.
All right, so our agenda items are done today. We are going to move to staff communications. Before we do that, I just want to double check. make sure that all of you picked up the public comment from Paul Wilcox. That may end up on an agenda in the future. It's over by the door, so if you didn't pick it up on your way in, pick it up on your way out, please. And then moving on to staff communications.
Well, thank you, Chair. I'm David Berniker. I'm the Community Development Director, and it's nice to be here. This is Chris Ann Washington, who's in our department, or part of the department, and Chris Ann, I can't remember what title. Do you want to be director?
I'm the admin support for the fund.
There you go. But it's nice to be here, and a nice segue from dealing with TCAB. Those who are on it, we did have a pretty good time. It was, I think, a pretty well-run process, and it was a lot of fun to go through and look at the proposals to get at a team that I think, well, we all think very highly of, and this is a segue. We'll see where it goes. And so on July 11th, we'll be coming back to council and to the Urban Renewal Agency, and we're hoping, or I'm expecting, that the Urban Renewal Agency will authorize staff to engage in an ENA, which I've got an early, not an early, I should know this by now, an executive negotiation agreement between the city and Capstone, who's a developer. So this is the first phase. We actually had this big, called long-winded ENA, and it was frankly getting too complicated. So the ENA is basically Capstone is to enter into an agreement with the city and to go forth and have a conversation with the owner of the shopping center to see if anything can happen. And once we know more, we'll be coming back to, the representatives will come back and share what they know, but we'll come back then to Urban Renewal Agency and figure out the next steps. The goal is to create a community down there, consisting of all types of uses, residential, entertainment, hospitality, and doing it in a way that reflects what it means to be in Troutdale and reflects our landscape and reflects our amazing assets. So it's a cool project. It's gonna inch along for a while until some of these things are kind of worked out between all the various players. So I wanted to share that project, and I'm open for questions on that. Does anybody have any questions? I was only going to share a handful of major projects, and that was one of them.
Questions for me? A question is when the TCAP committee will be involved again to be updated, to kind of understand the process and see where we would be able to add additional input.
Great question. I think once we know how it goes, right? We're kind of in this early stage of just sort of, setting it up. We're at the junior high dance, and you're approaching that person you've been wanting to dance with to see if they want to dance with you. And if there is a dance there, if there's a relationship between the property owners who own the shopping center, who are out in New York City, and a willingness to work with Capstone, who's a local developer, that'll be a great moment. And we'll come back and start thinking more about what that all means in terms of process. We had a lot of that stuff built in, and it frankly felt premature. Like we had to ask the initial question first. So it's going to take a while. I believe we set aside, I think we set aside 120 days to go through this process, because it's going to be multiple conversations, and it's just going to take a while to get there. All along, Capstone, as part of the agreement, will be coming back and sharing with me, and then I'll be sharing, probably Marley, I'll be sharing with the city manager and the people who are on the development team. So we brought in a set of folks who are kind of, I would say that they're the major leagues who've done development in this community, and Diane had the opportunity, community member Castillo had the opportunity to work with them, and I think we all enjoyed it. So once we know something, we'll come back and kind of think about what the next steps are. So, but it was fun. It's probably been the funnest thing that I've done, and it's such a great opportunity for the city. And the TCAB group, the folks who've been on it, Diane and Victoria, have been really good. So appreciate the assistance. The other one I was gonna also share, that's coming up, I was gonna share 3 projects. Also on July 11th, there will be coming to council, the idea in entering into a development agreement with Home Forward. And that's had a long history. And the purpose of this is to see if we can get everybody on the same page to move forward. What that looks and feels like now is the development that we've all seen. Well, it changed a little bit. Some people may not know, it went from 94 units to 85 units. The issue has always been the parking. And there was, when the applicant came in to do a street vacation, that was denied by council, to take that piece off the table, if you will. It gets complicated. So during the same time, legislation from the state has happened where we don't really have the same level of parking requirements. In fact, by state law, you don't have to supply any parking anymore on multifamily workforce housing type projects. Capstone, the city realized there's a benefit to coming together. Parking is needed for the community. How and what is what the development agreement came up with. And so basically that'll be coming to council also on July 11th. And what hopefully happens is, at least I think it hopefully happens, is that we can move forward with this and begin to start the project. The option, if we don't move forward, is that it will get appealed to Planning Commission, and then eventually, could get appealed to city, from there go to City Council, and then there go to LUBA. If it was to go that route, the likelihood of that passing is, I think it's fair to say, is pretty slim, because these state laws are in effect. So to come back and appeal it would be very difficult for the city to prove that, and it would be very expensive. So rather than go through that process, the two sides have come together and come up with what is mutually seen as a mutually acceptable approach. And I'll take questions on that one too.
Kevin.
What's the intended location?
Right there.
That's what I thought, okay.
Yeah.
And so you're saying you're gonna have parking for 85?
No, you're gonna have parking for more than that.
Okay.
You're gonna have close to parking, 85 would be a 1-to-1 ratio, and I think the ratio is closer to 1.7.
Could you point there again? I couldn't see where.
It's across the street. It's a large field right outside, where are we here? At the Sheriff's Station, Kellogg Room.
Oh, between the sheriff's station and the food court place.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
So I attended the last planning commission, and I thought the appeal was actually scheduled for August 2nd. Is that changed?
And that will still happen. The nature of what that meeting will be is dependent, right?
Gotcha.
To be determined, right? So,
Gotcha.
Premature to jump into that, but if council and the applicant can have an agreement, the nature of that appeal might be different. I think the sense is that myself and the city attorney will provide an overview to Planning Commission, at least what it is. I mean, at the very minimum, that'll happen. So, but there's still, that meeting is scheduled for August 2nd.
Okay.
It just, yeah.
Great, thank you. Go ahead.
This is Kevin. Is the intention of the 1.7 ratio to add public parking?
So the answer is yes. So some of that's part of the negotiation, is that some of the parking that's going to be there will be for the public to help alleviate some of the parking concerns downtown and on Main Street. So that is part of it. So that's kind of that trade-off where both sides kind of saw a benefit.
Yeah, I unfortunately, this is Adrian, I have a lot of history with this and kind of strong opinions since I'm one of the affected neighbors. I look at that lot outside my front door. I guess the one pertinent question that I have for you, David, is there someplace publicly accessible that we can see the last plan that was put in by Home Forward as part of their application?
I think it'll be in the packet for July 11th, but the only thing that's really changed is that Second Street right-of-way is now where that parking gets added.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the parking does not change at all.
Which
So
is
around the site, it's still the same. It's just an area that was going to be vacated will now be kind of a shared parking arrangement between, shouldn't even say it's shared, but it'll be shared in our eyes, that some of it will be for Home Forward and some of it will be for the public. Actually, the majority of it is for the public.
Because the primary reason I ask is because my recollection of the previous application and every revision of it that I had ever seen was that the highest parking ratio that was ever actually submitted was like 1.3, 1.4 tops. So I mean, a 1.7 parking ratio really kind of, that caught me off guard.
Yeah, and that, now hopefully my math is right, but that's what I think you get up to with the number of spaces that are being added. And again, it's not a perfect math because it's not all for Home Forward, but collectively, I think it hovers around, I can see if I can find it.
Because the other thing that concerns me about that math is one of the things that they have tried to do in the past is, as part of that accounting, use street parking spots on 4th Street, which is for everybody who lives and works on that street, problematic to say the least. And then the other thing that I would be extremely interested to see is what the official access status is of the complex access, drive access onto 4th Street. Because I think it's
right. I don't think it's in from 4th Street. I think it's out from 4th Street. I don't remember, but I can get that information.
Because there was a parking lot drive going up to 4th Street. There was a lot of talk about making that for official vehicles only, but I don't know if that was ever actually settled.
Now, the parking along 4th Street would be, in theory, for the people who live in the workforce housing project. The public parking, in theory, is along the 2nd Street right-of-way, the area that's and it's closer to downtown, so that kind of makes sense. But it was one point, when Home Forward initially came in, they came in with 94 units. Then when they came back the second time around, they came in with 85 units at a ratio of 1.4. So that was 1.4, that's a bare minimum before we even get to the additional parking spaces that were added.
Yeah, because knowing the level of traffic between residents and public works on 4th Street, having regular additional street parking on that street, I don't know how that would work.
Right, so nothing changed in the plan in terms of adding on-street parking on 4th. The only thing that added was on 2nd, and then the parking that was already allocated on Kendall. Right. So it's pretty confined to where the parking is. So anyway, that's the agreement. That's what's coming before council on next week, on the 11th.
Woodrow?
Is there any changes? Is there park access on 4th Street?
Park access.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw on 4th Street there was like a path to a park off the road. Is that the 4th Street we're talking about?
There is, yeah.
Okay, and the notion and those, well, when we brought this to planning committee, well, I gotta figure out the right way to say this. When Home Forward came back to planning commission, they came back with the notion of trying to not only create a viable open space for the people that live there, but for the larger community. I don't think that's changed. I mean, it's still a large open space that's, gonna have, recreation area for kids, and I think there's a sitting area and barbecue. I don't think that's changed. It's not intended to be just for home forward. I think it's for the larger population.
And did, when they changed their number, what'd you say, 95 to 85, did they come off the top, or they remove one of the buildings? How did they make that change?
I think it's actually spread out through the buildings. It gave them an opportunity to do something. It wasn't just off one building. I think they, subtracted from all the buildings to get it something that was a little bit simpler.
Okay. And so there's no gated, or there's no security measures for this complex at all then, or?
It's not a gated community.
Understood. Okay. Sorry for the stupid questions.
Oh, they're good questions.
Oh. Any other questions? Diane?
You spoke to workforce housing. Is that what you mentioned that were?
That's how I described it, yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say, what workforce are you talking about?
Workforce housing is typically 60 to 80% of multifamily income. So these are people who have jobs, who work in the neighborhood. A lot of them probably work at, the area that people most think of, trip and have families and stuff like this. This isn't it's affordable in the sense that it may not be market rate, but it's not like a Section 8 type of product.
It's not a Section 8 voucher to get in.
Nope.
It's 60 to 80%.
Right.
Gotcha.
And that, in this community, which is kind of a more affluent community, that's a reasonable amount of money. I have the numbers, will hopefully be shared a little bit more. Yeah, anyway.
Any other questions? I think the takeaway from this is, if you're really interested in what's going to happen, July 11th is the date that's going to happen. Plan on attending the city council meeting, either in person or on Zoom, for further details and outcomes.
And then the final project I wanted to bring was the Parks Master Plan passed. To me, that those are the big projects that come to mind. There's a lot of other things that are going on, but the Parks Master Plan, after a couple runs, passed Planning Commission and City Council, and that's what I have to share. And I guess there's one more. As much as I like being here by myself, I won't have to do this forever. We do have 2 more planners coming on board.
Wonderful.
Probably 6 to 8 weeks, being negotiated what that is. We really had an amazing talent pool. I was really surprised, just because
wonderful,
it's hard out there. So I'm pretty excited. They're more junior, but I think they're very talented.
Great.
And that's what I got.
Wonderful. We look forward to meeting the new people. Does that mean that one of those new people will be our new staff liaison? Are you going to hang with us for the rest of the season?
You know what? I'm going to hang for a while, but I mean, for sure. But the goal is one of them's an associate planner, and he can take this on.
Perfect.
And then I'll come whenever the chair says I need to be there. I will talk to the chair. So yeah, but I'm excited about the 2 folks that are coming on.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I can't remember. I wish I could tell you the timelines, but frankly, that's something that is more in Denise's wheelhouse, and I haven't tracked what the final dates were, but I want to say mid-August.
Great. Right. Any other questions for David before we close up staff communications? Right, there is one more agenda item that isn't on here, and that is the August 2nd meeting. The August 2nd meeting conflicts with the Planning Commission's hearing on the appeal. So we have a choice. We can either reschedule for a different date in August, or we can cancel the meeting for August. I'm open to either one.
Do we have anything on the horizon that might be important to talk about in August?
We do not. Nothing hot that has to be discussed.
I move we cancel the meeting for August 2nd.
All right.
Second.
All in favor? Did you hear that, Woodrow? She talks real quiet. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Now, in terms of schedule into the future, this committee is the first Wednesday of each month.
It is. So August, you're free as a bird, unless you're on another committee, in which case you're not. All right, now committee member comments. So the committee member comments are just me going around the room and asking every committee member if you have any input on tonight's meeting that maybe didn't get addressed, if you have anything you want to say for future agenda items, anything you'd like to see discussed, any questions that you might have overall for David or Chris Ann, now's your chance. And well, Woodrow, you're online. How about we start with you this time? We took you last time, so.
So I guess the questions I have go back to the parking, and is there not another commercial business going in on 2nd Street? I saw some new construction over there. Is there going to be any accommodations made for parking in it with this new piece coming in as well? Are we approaching that holistically, or is it going to do the apartments first and then address any parking issues with that? Was it a draft house? What is that over there?
Yeah, it's a brewery coming in.
Wayfinders.
Wayfinder.
And more food trucks.
Okay. What's that?
And more food trucks.
And more food trucks. You guys are getting more beer than anywhere in the region.
Yeah, I was told that's a good thing because we get more tax revenue from that, right?
I saw
work.
So David, I'm sorry, do you have an answer for Woodrow?
I don't know. I mean, my guess is that there is an I really don't know, to be honest with you. That was a project that I sort of inherited, so I don't know what the parking requirement is for. I apologize for that.
Is that nearby? I mean, or how far away is it from the apartment complex?
It's across the street.
Walking distance across the street?
Yeah, half a block.
So feasibly, we could have residents trying to park in front of the new business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Residents parking in front of the business?
If there's insufficient parking at the complex itself.
Right, but the parking ratios at the apartment complex are equal or higher than anything you have already existing. I mean, that doesn't mean, I can't, to the people sort of saying there might be more parking problem, but the evidence based upon the parking study doesn't really show that. So, I mean, again, it wasn't 1-to-1 parking, it was 1.41, and that was before the agreement was established. So, and those ratios are equal to other multifamily projects that you already have in the area.
Okay.
The unfortunate part of that is, of course, I don't know about y'all, but 90% of the families I know in the workforce have 2 cars. And where is that second car going? 1.4 doesn't cover the parking needs.
I mean, you raise an interesting question, and I don't know the answer to this, but the theory is that if the workforce housing is your workforce housing, right? It's your community, it's people who work in your neighborhood, and we're paying taxes locally and going to your establishments and all that type of stuff. The theory or hope is that the parking ratios would stabilize or maybe become less. You guys know where I live and work. If it's something else, you can come find me. But, the notion isn't to necessarily have 2 parking spaces per unit. That's, in fact, Troutdale's parking ratios are much higher than the rest of the region. Good or bad, that's just what they are. And then you look at, again, what the surrounding communities are doing in terms of parking, and they're not coming up to that 2 spaces per unit. Does that make sense? So I don't know. I mean, I do not know.
And I think,
And,
if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but Troutdale parking requirements have been higher than normal because our public transportation out here is fairly limited. So drive to drive anywhere or work anywhere that isn't Troutdale, you need a car.
It's a what is it, cart before the horse, right? So I mean, what happens is if more people come into this area, folks in planning should be advocating on the city's behalf that you get more transit. That's what it should be. I mean, the transit is a product of the number of people who live here and where they work and things of that nature. So that, again, TBD, right? I don't know. I don't have a magic ball. I don't know where this is all going. But if there's more people in the area, that surely gives the community an opportunity to have a different conversation with TriMet and other providers, like, we need more transit, not less.
Okay. Woodrow, did you have more to add to that?
I just, I'm sure the brew pub, these are all questions that, they own this, right? Not us. I'm just curious. And, I'm gonna throw that out there. And plus I like asking questions.
Thank you. Jenny?
I was wondering if the parking was designated, like split. So designated area for people that are living in the apartment building as opposed to the public parking.
Answer is, my understanding is yes.
Because who's gonna control that situation?
Well, the parking within the community proper would be for the residents. And what I'm sharing with you is I'm pretty certain that Second Street is intended to be divided between what's I'll call extra parking for the community and what's for the general public to help serve downtown and other uses around.
Anything else? Twyla?
Oh, going around? Yeah. Well, I just want to thank everybody for a great meeting. It was good to meet all the new members, and looking forward to first Friday and coming out to see your event. So,
thank you. Diane?
Everybody stay cool, and and thank you, David, for coming to this. And I know you've been working hard, and I really appreciate all the, and you, Christine, for everybody that's been working extra hard, pulling, trying to keep Troutdale great and all that good stuff. I did have a comment, and I thought when we did signs, we were talking about parking. I thought it was going to come before TCAB when we decided how to manage parking in downtown. I saw the new signs that said 2-hour parking between 8 a.m. to 6. The new signs that are down Troutdale now on our light post. Oh. And yeah, and I'm just kind of concerned with that because it gives it a 2-hour limit. And I know I took my sisters from Austin and San Antonio here recently, and we would have been in violation because I understand there's a lot of dynamics going on. I know we didn't want maybe the person to park their car and then take a bike ride down the gorge, which would be longer, than the 2 hours, or treat it like a park and ride, or have the employees of the businesses, just not be creative and, give the opportunity for customers. But 2 hours, to me, in my opinion, is limited. I would have at least gone for 3. That would have made you get a meal and go to Celebrate Me Home, or there's a good coffee, or the antique shop, which has necklaces for $2 and brooches if nobody knows, and other little things, and then the gallery. And the new Northwest, I'm just naming some places my sisters went to, the Northwest Design. We went to the new coffee shop. There was a lovely Hispanic couple that turned it over to a niece that had worked at Starbucks for a couple of years. I can't remember the name of the coffee place right now, Grateful. And so took them there to also visit there. They made purchases at both places, also celebrating home and etc. 2 hours wouldn't have cut it. That was pre-sign. I wanted people to have the opportunity to spend their money in town, have a meal, and visit a little bit. I think 2 hours is restrictive. A gal I'm 60, maybe a little older, I don't know what our clientele is now that we lost the Troutdale store, general store, that brought a lot of great tourism. It gave a lot of libation to the rest of Troutdale. I don't know what our demographics are. I'm seeing a lot of younger couples, which is really cool. So we seem to be getting more mix of everything. I'm just thinking that I don't feel that 2 hours was maybe the best call. And I always had been told by Chris Damjan that TCAP would be addressing things such as that, because we were going to be working, one of our tasks was going to be parking in the downtown area and where that would be. And yeah, just.
Yeah, we can chat more. And parking as it relates to TCAB will be, hopefully this relationship evolves between the development community and the owners of the mall, the city. Parking will be a real issue.
Yeah, and because I just didn't know how it was patrolled, so I'm the type of person that if there's a rule, I'm thinking that is the rule. And so, but if a lovely person comes from out of town and they went over the 2 hours, I don't know if it's going to be tire marked like it used to be in the past. People were trying to just check that out to see how long people were staying. I don't want to, not so welcome to Troutdale. The one thing we did have is no paid. We were one of the few towns that we didn't charge people to pay on that main street. And we were hoping that.
So 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
On Main Street, on Columbia Highway.
I think it says I think it's 8 a.m. to 6. 2 hours isn't enough to spend your money. I got my sister spending a lot of money all throughout the town. Shop local. Yeah, that's it.
I have a question. This is Kevin. What is TCAP?
Town Center Advisory Board.
Thank you. Okay. Secondly, has there been any discussion? We don't have to discuss it now. I just bringing the subject up. 25 years ago, when I was on the board of the Troutdale Area Chamber of Commerce, we implemented a trolley that ran down Columbia River Highway, out to Glen Otto Park, came back 257th to include the Cherry Park Shopping Center and so on. We did that for a summer and then ran out of funding. Because parking is so limited, can we at some point revisit some kind of, you said you're going to have a trolley on Friday going to the historical center and back to downtown. What about trying to, I'd love to discuss trying to get that going on a more permanent basis year round.
That's a conversation for the future, but just remember that a lot of times Glen Otto Park, there is no parking. There's no parking available. On a Saturday, there was one day this last week, there was a memorial, there was a picnic, 100. Then Sugar Pine is doing great, and they're
no parking where? Did you
at
say?
Glen Otto Community Park.
Right.
So that doesn't work.
Well,
The trolley, if you're talking about people parking at Glen Otto.
No, not necessarily. I'm talking about maybe the outlet mall.
And that would be.
We discuss that with them.
Yeah, and that'd be a good conversation to have later when whoever gets delegated this, because there is talk that we need that, so I'm sure that would be part of a conversation. But if I'm on that committee at that time, I will footnote it.
Yeah.
Because if you have this, will require creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my comment, this made me think of something else. Are there more people involved in this negotiation for the urban renewal with Capstone and the the outlet mall, or is there, who all's involved in that part of it? Is it just a couple people, or is it
Well,
trying to negotiate with the
yeah, I
outlet
mean,
mall?
so the developer, Capstone,
Capstone.
has their own attorneys, and Capstone's has a long, successful history of working on these types of projects. So they will they will start that conversation with this group out of New York, Time Equities. They'll start the conversation. My hope is if they can sort of agree, like conceptually, like doing certain things are a good idea, then there'll be more opportunity for myself, TCAB, the developers who we brought in, who Diane and Victoria met, to weigh in on that conversation. We are such at the beginning stage. We are literally looking across that dance floor, kind of shaky, walking up and going, hey, do you think we can have a relationship? We're such at the beginning stage of this thing. If we can sort of see an opportunity to move forward, my sense is a lot more people will be involved. The city will surely be involved. I mean, we are a major player in this. And I might be trying to guess what you're thinking. So I apologize, but that's how it works. Right now, we need to see if the developer and the two developers can work something out. Then if they can, there'll be a whole lot more that needs to happen between the developer and their design team, the owners of the mall, their design team, all their equity partners, and then everything that's in the town center plan, the goals and objectives in the town center plan, which I think is a really well done document personally. So I think there's a lot of good stuff to work with that TCAT can work with, using the town center plan to advance the city's agenda, what the city cares about. So I hope I'm being clear. There's opportunities for more people to be in the mix. It's not going to be just a finite group.
Okay, that's what I was just trying to say, is that, you know, if we just want to make sure that the developer, they really want to, obviously they proposed this, so they really want this project. So they've got to convince.
That's right.
Time Equities.
That's right.
That it's a good idea.
That's
and
right.
so
And
yeah, I was
it'll be-
hoping that this was, and then hoping that there are a group of people to watch over this to make sure that we're doing as best we can to follow through, because this project, I really like it. I hope that we
Developer
can
has a
do it.
responsibility to check in with leadership on the team, which I think is, they'll be checking in with me and my team, I assume pretty regularly. And when I say my team, I mean the planners, but I also mean Ray, Eric Muller, the developers. Those are our team, the developers on our team, right? So we had Abe Farkas and Matt Brown and people like that who Victoria met, and Diane met. Those are people who we'll go to for questions. As it hopefully coalesces, there'll be more opportunities for input. If, you know, assuming that it coalesces, the development team will do design exercises, if you will, with the public. They're going to seek your feedback.
Quick question. Who are we trying to dance with? Capstone or Time Equities?
Yes.
That is the dance.
That is the dance.
Got it. Okay, crystal clear.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So anyhow, welcome to the new members, all of you, and I'm just excited. It's a really good group. I'm excited for what we're going to accomplish this year, so thanks.
Okay, I'll do my turn. Zadrin, I'm a little concerned about the sort of the timing and the dynamic about the home forward discussions, because for the small handful of concerned neighbors that came to the last planning commission meeting, what we were told at that time is that the next opportunity for public input on that whole thing was going to be the August 2nd hearing. And so if that is not accurate, I'm I would like to see some level of communication and more active communication from the city to let concerned people know that this is something that is going to be brought up in front of council next week. Because I think there are a significant number of community members, both immediate neighbors and people around the community that have that will want to provide input in whatever means that is appropriate at that entrance in front of council.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, and I'll pass it on to the city manager. I'm not exactly sure, I'm not trying to, come to the public hearing on July 11th. It is your opportunity as a citizen to weigh in on it. The issue is that if we had moved ahead with getting to the August 2nd, there's a chance that this could have quickly escalated up the ladder to going in front of the state. And as I said before, there's not a great path there.
I understand that. It's just that my only real concern is that there's potentially an opportunity for the community to weigh in on the process. And as far as I know, nobody knows it. Well, because that agenda for the city council hasn't been posted on the website. And as far as, like I said, for the small handful of people who were at the last planning commission meeting, as far as they know, August 2nd is the date.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
The other thing that I just wanted to briefly mention, because I think the people I really need to bring this to is parks, I had an idea with the very sunny and warm weather that we've been having lately. One of the things that I saw a lot in parks when I was living in Australia was the great big sunshades to offer some respite from the extremely hot summer weather. And some of our parks that are sadly lacking in overhead cover could really use it, because there's park equipment that frankly in the middle of the summer becomes utterly unusable for much of the day because it's just too bloody hot. So that's something I'll just briefly mention here, but I think I'm probably going to bring up at the next parks meeting.
Thank you.
That's it for me.
To it.
Welcome to all the new members. Great to have you here. And then thank you for having the new town center again, if we ever get that far this year. We'll see. And it's a slow process. And then I had one question that I might have missed somewhere. Are we still having the brewery at the old city hall?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll have two breweries.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we need to spend our money on beer?
I think you're gonna get another one in the Confluence site too. I mean, it's just, people that are doing attractors, that is an attractor. It brings people into your town. I think it's great, personally, just for economic development, if it's done right. And, like anything else, if it's done poorly, it's not so great. But it's hard to stay in business in the beer world unless you do it right. So.
Woodrow, did you have something you wanted to throw in?
I'm just, looking for the day of spending my money on buying beer to help our tax base. Doing it, work.
Don't forget the children.
Exactly, especially for the children.
A country dance club instead of a brewery, but they both serve beer, right? I mean, I'm telling you, rake it in.
Did my girlfriend put you up to that?
Yeah,
I thought so.
I'm a
That's what I was
bushwhackers.
gonna say.
I'm a bushwhacker girl here, so met my husband and got married there, so. I want to say welcome to all new members. It's good to have you here. Looks like it's gonna be a fun time coming up for the next year with people who have a great sense of humor, are always welcome, that ask smart questions and ask questions and participate. It's so welcome. We appreciate you all.
You can get bandits to do some line dancing for you.
Oh, yeah. Chris?
Well, I guess I'll say, I guess in a sense, Happy New Year to everyone, since it's a new cycle,
Oh, yeah.
and welcome to the new members. I was also thinking about it, and I wanted to make a suggestion. I was looking at and thinking about the printout we had of Paul's public comment, and I thought maybe we should make that an agenda item to discuss at a future meeting, especially since there's an election coming up next year.
Yeah, okay. I think that's part of the plan.
Since we're on that topic, actually, that's what I was gonna ask. Is this being submitted as public comment just to have on the record, or is this reminding us that this was asked of us by a citizen?
I think that, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul's purpose in resubmitting it to us was to make sure that all new members got a copy.
Okay. And then I suppose with that, I was going to talk about this, but since Chris brought it up, we're on topic, might as well. With that, I believe that there are some pretty good arguments or questions raised in here as well, and I would also second that we would consider this an option. I suppose, though, since there may be people that are, or Paul especially, may have some ideas about what potential solutions might be, it may be easier to start with some sort of groundwork or some framework to go from, to work from that. I believe also one of the questions that we were looking at was the cost of an election to run a single, one position, like what is the cost of that? And I think that was maybe possibly the barrier that we were running into. So maybe if and when we do add this to the agenda, that we consider finding that information ahead of time to help, steer the discussion.
Great. Yes, Woodrow?
So I guess Paul brought those questions. They're in the room. How could I get a copy of them, or?
I can email a copy to you, or Chris Ann actually will email a copy to you.
I'll email everybody.
Chris Ann will email everybody, because she's awesome that way.
Woohoo!
All right. Yes.
On the question of voting, I can't remember if it's Multnomah County or the state, they're gonna take up that on the next ballot. So you might wanna follow that, because this might be moved for Troutdale, because it might be a county or state law. I'll have to look it up, I can't remember right now, but it's gonna be on the ballot.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe if we could add that to our list of potential project things to work on, and maybe have a communication about that issue as we learn more about it.
I think given our next meetings in September, you probably have time to pass that off to the new planning staff liaison there, David.
Shelley,
Uh-huh.
I forgot to thank Chris Barney for doing such a good job vice chairing that. That was a lot of fun, and you had some great questions and great comments and input. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
And this year we'll meet at Christmas time so we can see her soon.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Well, I just want to say that I'm excited to be part of the group, very much so. Diane, if there is some future committee that you talked about being on that would address the trolley, please consider me or let me know. I'd be very interested to be on that committee, whatever that committee is. When is there more opportunity to provide input for the Confluence project? You said it's creeping along.
I mean, mean, I think there's opportunity for the community to provide input all the time.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I'm not saying that's always easy. The way one typically does that, or one way to do that, is to bring it to planning commission. Planning commission and city council both open up with the opportunity for comments. And then your elected and appointed leaders in the area. I think that's another way to bring up a range of ideas. I mean, if you think you or anybody else wants to share ideas with me, I'm pretty easily found. So I think there's many ways to kind of have input into the discussion about what makes this a great community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take advantage of many of those. Thank you.
All right, well,
Not too much. I was kind of quiet today. I'm getting a little bit of stomach ache from barbecue yesterday, so. And Chris Ann hit it with the whole potato salad. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to welcome Adrian and Kevin and Jenny and Woodrow, and say that, the whole election thing is probably the most awkward thing we have to do every year. It's like, hey, welcome, you're brand new, and I vote for somebody to be your leader. So it's super awkward, but we made it through. And again, yeah, thanks again, Shelley and Chris and Twyla this next year for helping out. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate you all.
and I'm gonna take a second to apologize. We missed the Pledge of Allegiance. If y'all, I'm really sorry. We'll catch it next time, I promise.
We'll have to do it twice.
Don't worry, Chris, you'll still get to lead that one. All right. Any other closing comments? He went first.
Oh, okay.
I let him go first because he went last time. All right. Any other comments for staff or Chris Ann or future agenda items, or can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Can't have too much fun, huh?
Motion carries. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
It was good.
Thank you,
So
Shelley.
good to see you.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Woodrow. It sounds like you're a busy man.
I just get a lot of steps in.
I bet you do. You take care. Drive safe.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye.
Okay.
Fun fact, and don't quote me on it exactly, but I learned recently that the Pledge of Allegiance was created by a company trying to sell flags in elementary schools.
Oh, really?
1800s. And so